Hello friends, welcome back to another studio vlog. If this is your first time here, my name's Heather. I'm the owner of Charming Chapters, which is a small bookish business located in North Dakota. And this week we are getting ready for our Halloween collection. That's going to be a mixture of fall and Halloween designs. And that's going to go live on Friday, August 22nd at noon Central Standard Time. So right about the time that this studio vlog goes live is when everything will be available. Pre-orders for certain items are going to be open for 1 week, just to make sure we can get everything done in time and over to you before the Halloween season starts. So pre-orders we're going to have for book sleeves. We're bringing back our Haunted Library box again this year, and this year it's going to have a gothic haunted mansion kind of theme. I'm really excited for it. I absolutely love how the designs turned out for it, and I can't wait to show you guys everything. We're also going to have pre-orders for tumblers, and there's a couple new items that I'm testing out. Hopefully I'll have more details on those tomorrow after they've been sampled a little bit. And yeah, it's just going to be a busy week getting ready for that. Today we are going to be working on orders. We should be able to catch up on everything and get everything sent out to you guys today. And then tomorrow we are going to start on book sleeves that are coming back from last year's fall and Halloween collection. We also have a batch of fabric coming in with new designs for the upcoming collection. That should be here this week. We have stationery, we have bookmarks, we have acrylic bookmarks, Kindle charms, stickers. All of that should be showing up this week, if not early next week, just in time for the launch. So it's going to be a busy week, and I can't wait to have you guys along for everything. I know you like seeing all the behind the scenes stuff, what goes into prepping for a launch. So it should be a really fun, busy week. So this morning we are just going to be prepping all the book sleeves that we need to sew today. Then this afternoon we're going to sew and pack orders. So let's get started. We've got all the sleeves prepped and ready to go, so we are going to start sewing next. I've got the windows open because it was just raining and there's that wonderful rain smell going on right now, so you might see the curtains blowing in the breeze a little bit. But we're going to get all of these sleeves sewn up. I think we've got 10 to sew today, so we're going to try and get them all done. There is a custom, oh hang on, here comes Luna. Wiggling my desk, she was running so fast. Anyways, we've got some custom book sleeves that you're going to see me sewing here, and those are for one of our brand reps. She had some custom ones made for her book club, which I thought was such a cool idea. So if there's something that you guys want that's customized, definitely reach out to me. I'll let you know if I have availability or not. With the holidays coming up, I don't take on a whole lot of custom stuff, but I can definitely get you on the wait list if I am already booked. I absolutely love doing custom things. How Luna's running around here, wiggling my phone stand. She's just full of energy. Anyways, I absolutely love doing custom things, so don't be afraid to reach out. I do have a custom order coming up for an author. I actually teased her sleeves a couple weeks ago. They're for one of her new books that was just released, so we're going to be working on those here shortly. She's going to have Patreon come up for pre-orders for, I think she's doing some special edition stuff, so those will be really exciting to work on too. It was a custom design that I did for her. So, but anyways, we're going to get back to work. We're going to get these sleeves sewn, and then we'll get everything packed after that. cute did these book sleeves turn out? Look at those. Really pretty fun mint inside lining. So these are for one of my brand reps, Gracie, and for her book club. So Gracie, I hope you and your book club love all of these. So Gracie, I won't be filming your packing on camera here. The box that I need is gonna be too big for underneath my camera stand here, so I'm gonna pack yours off screen. But before I get to packing orders, I am going to steam up the sleeves real quick. I'm not gonna do that on camera because we have a few thunderstorms kind of rolling through. So I just wanna get everything set up so we can film all of your packing here before it gets too dark. Friends, that's gonna be it for today. Tomorrow morning we're gonna get a little bit later start in the studio. I'm gonna run all of your orders into town to the post office, and then I also need to run a couple errands, including getting more fabric, because you guys wiped me out of fabric last week after sewing all the sleeves that you guys ordered during our end of summer sale. So I need to restock some of that. So we're gonna get a late start tomorrow. We'll be starting on some of the book sleeves for the Halloween collection. So we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Good morning, friends. Happy Tuesday. We had a little change in plans today. I will actually be going to town this evening. We are going to meet up with a local small business who is creating an item for our haunted library box, and I'm really excited. We actually had ordered some stuff for them last fall for some Christmas gifts, and when I was designing the haunted library book sleeve, which we're actually going to sew up today, so I'll show you that later, but when I was designing the book sleeve, there is a stained glass window in it, and I just thought of this small business right away, and I wanted to reach out to them. So If the product's gonna work out, I'll let you know tomorrow. We're gonna go visit them tonight because they made up some prototypes for us. So we're gonna go check those out tonight. I am super excited. It's something that I haven't seen in any other boxes, and I think it'd be really cool. Something that you can still use all year round, so it's not just Halloween themed, but it does tie in with a design from the Haunted Library box. So I'm really excited. I have seen their work before. Like I said, we've gotten some items as gifts and they're really nice quality. So I can't wait to share that with you. But this morning I ordered some fabric. You guys kind of wiped us out of book sleeves with our end of summer sale. You guys just blew my mind. If you watched last week's studio vlog, you can see all the orders being packed up. So I had to order more fabric that I designed this morning. And then tonight we're gonna go to Hobby Lobby and get some solid colored fabric, which I use for the inside linings of the book sleeve. So all the errands that I was gonna run this morning, we're gonna do tonight. And I didn't get orders over to the post office this morning because obviously I didn't go to town. But instead of taking them tonight when we go, I'm actually going to run them over to the little post office that's just south of us. If this is your first time watching the studio vlog, we live out of town, about 30 minutes outside of the main town, Minot. However, there is a small town just south of us, about 4 miles, and they have this teeny little post office, and it's only open 2 hours a day. So I'm going to take orders over there this afternoon, which works out great because we actually had 2 orders come in overnight. So we're going to sew up book sleeves for those today. But I wanted to mention, with that post office in Minot, it looks like I had 2 orders I dropped off this weekend from last week's sale. It looks like they were never scanned in. I dropped them in the after hours box, and usually they're really good about scanning things. However, these 2 haven't been scanned in yet. One of the customers had reached out to me, which is what brought it to my attention, and I noticed there was another one that's still saying pre-transit, which means it hasn't been scanned in. So I reached out to that customer. So if you guys ever have troubles with your orders, please do not be afraid to reach out to me. I will do everything in my power, everything I possibly can to help get your order to you. You know, things happen with the post office. It's just part of ordering things online, but I will do everything that I can to help get your order to you. I'm not one of those people that are just going to brush you off and just say, oh, you're on your own. I thought about these orders all night. Like, I didn't sleep very well. So that tells you how much love and care I put into all of your packages and how much each of your orders mean to me too. So if you ever have issues, please don't be afraid to reach out. I will definitely take care of you in every way that I can, whether it's sending replacements, whether it's reaching out to the post office, whether it's a refund because you needed it by a certain date. I will do my best to take care of you guys. So we are going to get started on those 2 book sleeves that we need to sew for today. We're also going to start on some book sleeves for our Halloween collection. I can't wait to share those with you. I think I only have the 1 new design on hand for the Haunted Library box. That one I ordered ahead of time because I wanted to make sure the colors were going to work out with that one. The other designs that we're going to start on are returning designs. So we had them either last year or the year before in our fall or Halloween collections. So we're going to be working on those. The new fabrics, it looks like they just shipped this morning. It's saying they should be here by the end of the week. So fingers crossed we'll get those and can start sewing those this week as well. I just checked in on bookmarks and stationery. Those have shipped. Acrylic bookmarks, charms, and stickers are in production, so those should be here pretty quick too. So it's going to be a very busy week. Next week is going to be even busier. So next week's studio vlog is probably going to get a little crazy, not gonna lie. It just happens when I order things last minute. I wasn't very prepared this time around. If you've watched some of the last couple studio vlogs, I mentioned how I was just kind of having a designer's block. I really struggled with getting into the fall and Halloween designing, which is really surprising because I love fall and Halloween. They are my favorite time of year, and I don't know why, I just was having troubles getting into the designing. So unfortunately that meant I ordered things a little bit later than I should have, but everything is still on time to be here in time for the launch. I'm also having 2 new products being tested out. In case you haven't watched a studio vlog before, my mom actually has a sublimation business. She lives about 3 hours south of us. She makes all of our tumblers, and she's made some other fun products for us too. But today she is going to be testing out 2 new products. So fingers crossed those are going to work out, and we'll have those for the launch here too. But after all of that chatting, let's move on to working on book sleeves and we'll get those sewn up. Alright friends, time for a little update. It's just after 1 o'clock. We're still trying to make it to the little post office today. They're open from 1 to 3. I'm just going to be starting sewing here. I'm moving a little bit slower the last couple of hours. My allergies are flaring up and I've got the worst migraine right now. So I've got some meds in me. Gonna work on some electrolytes here, so fingers crossed we'll get to feeling better. But we're just gonna plug away sewing and I'll see if we can get everything over to the little post office. If not, I'll make sure to get everything over to the big post office when we go to town tonight before they close. So we're just gonna do some sewing here and try and get them all done. I made it to the post office with like 10 minutes to spare, so all of your orders are officially on the way. I think for the rest of the afternoon, I'm just gonna work on those fall and Halloween sleeves that I mentioned earlier. I probably won't record anymore for that today, just because it's pretty repetitive. As you can tell, I am feeling better. My meds have kicked in, which is fantastic. It's that time of year where, especially here in North Dakota, everybody's starting to harvest, so my allergies just get terrible this time of year. So thank goodness the allergy meds kicked in. But anyways, I'm just gonna sew the rest of the day, so we'll see you guys again tomorrow, and then I'll have some of those sleeves to show you. And then we're also gonna be working on probably a few more of the book sleeves that we didn't get to today. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow when we're back in the studio. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. I have some fun things to show you this morning. I was able to finish up 3 sleeves yesterday, and then we did have a couple of notepads and sticky note sets arrive. There are more that are supposed to be here later this week, but I'll show you what did come. First, I want to show you the book sleeve that's going to be in the Haunted Library box. It turned out so cute. So here we are. It's little ghosties flying in a haunted mansion library. How cute is that? I mentioned yesterday that we are going to visit a local small business who is making an item for the box, and they are going to make a little sun catcher that you can hang in your window that is very similar to what's in the design. I just thought that would be so cool to have in the box, something that you could hang up, use all year round. So that's only going to be available in the Haunted Library box. I'll have more details on that as everything gets finalized here. I have to go through and figure out the cost of everything and shipping and all that jazz. So I'll have more information on that here in the next couple days, but isn't that so cute? I think that might be one of my new favorites. Just love how that turned out. And then for other book sleeves that I got done yesterday, I am bringing back last year's book sleeve that was in the Haunted Library box. This one you can order in all sizes now. With the boxes, I only do a medium-sized book sleeve because the boxes are a certain size. I can't go any larger. So last year you could only get this next design in the medium, but I'm bringing it back so you can get whatever size that you want. So here's our original little ghosties. This was our first ever Haunted Library box. Isn't that cute? Love how that turned out. So that one's got a purple inside lining. I guess I forgot to show on the first one. That one's got a black inside, if it'll focus here. Black to match all the details, whereas this one had the purple. So we'll have both of those. And then this next one, I think we've had around 2-3 years now. I usually try and keep it in the shop most of the time anyways, besides just Halloween season, because you can use it all year round if you're into dark academia. So this one, we just call our dark academia bookshelf. So it's got little cats and ravens and stuff. And then that one's got a black inside lining. So those were the 3 that I got done yesterday for the book sleeves. We're gonna work on some more today. We've got some fabric we need to cut. We're probably gonna clip together some of the book sleeves. And if we've got time, we're gonna do a little bit more sewing today too. I just checked on the other fabric that we're waiting on. The label was made yesterday, but it hasn't shipped yet. It's supposed to be like 2-3 day shipping. So fingers crossed it'll be here on Friday. I'm gonna keep a close eye on that. I also checked on the other stationery and bookmarks, the regular bookmarks. Those are supposed to be here Friday too. It looks like they're in Minnesota. We're in North Dakota, so should be really close for timing. Should be here the next day or 2. But I will show you the stationery that I do have already. So these are notepads that we already had. I think all 3 of these were last year designs, but this year I brought in sticky notes to match them too. So we've got our autumn bookshelf, and there'll be a book sleeve to match this one too. So it's got a little, let's see if I can get it to focus here for you. There we go. It's got the little fox and a hedgehog in there. Super cute. So that's the notepad, and then there's a little sticky note set to match this year too. So it's got the little hedgehog and pumpkin. Get it to focus again. And then this has some little details in the background. And then we've got the dark academia notepad. There we go. So that'll match the book sleeve that I just showed you. And then the sticky notes to match for this year. So this one's got spider webs in the background. And then our little ghosty. There we go. It might be backwards, but it says things to do before reading. So we got our little ghosty sitting in his chair reading. And then the new sticky notes to match too. There we go. Camera doesn't want to stay focused. Come on, camera. There. There you can see them. So I got the little notepads to match that too. So we're gonna work on putting stickers on the back of all those this morning. So I've got little stickers that say Charming Chapters on our website, and I put it on the back of all of them just in case somebody gives it as a gift and they're wondering where it came from. That just has our branding on it. So we're gonna put stickers on those this morning real quick, and then we are going to move on to cutting fabric and clipping together book sleeves. I think that's all the exciting announcements that I have for this morning. I feel like there's something else I was going to mention, but I don't know. I have early morning brain right now, so if I think of it, I'll let you know later in the day. But for now, we are going to put stickers on these notepads. We've got our stationery project done. So next up, we are going to cut some fabric. If this is your first time watching one of our vlogs, with the fabric, the custom fabric that I do, it comes in a yard, so like a big rectangle. And to make it easier to steam, I like to cut it down into strips. It just works a little better with my small ironing board. So we're going to cut it down into strips, get all that steamed, and then we are going to move on to cutting everything down and clipping it together so that way we can sew everything. So you may have noticed that some of the designs that I was cutting here are not fall and Halloween prints. That's because they're designs that I need to restock. Since we're already cutting down the fabric, I'm just going to cut them up real quick so we can get those restocked. There are a few more designs that we need to cut down too, but we'll save those for another day. The fall and Halloween ones that we need are already in this batch, so we're just going to start with these, and then maybe later this week we'll get to that other stack that we need to restock as well. Also, if you notice in the video that I've got numbers written on the cutting board here, that's because I like to use as much as the cutting board as I can. So I start with the normal side and then I flip it around because I use the same lines over and over and over for cutting certain sizes. So then I flip it around. Sorry, it's upside down here. I'm going to sit on that side to cut. But anyways, I flip it around and then I redo the numbers because they're upside down here. And then that way I can just use so much more of the space, and then I can also flip it over and use the other side here too. So I'm one who does not like to waste anything. So if you're like, Heather, what are these numbers and stuff on the side? That's because we are using as much of the cutting board as we can. All right, so just finished cutting all the fabric. I think we're gonna take a quick lunch break here. Luna is wanting to go play, so we're gonna go out back here. I'm gonna film a little bit of the garden. Several of you guys have been asking how the garden is doing, so I'll film a little bit for you. There probably won't be any sound because it is crazy windy. Imagine that in North Dakota, the wind's blowing, right? So I'm gonna film a little bit for you. Don't mind the squash and the zucchini plants. The bugs have been eating the leaves like crazy, but they're still producing, so they look a little rough. They're doing all right. It's just the bugs are getting after them. So we're gonna take a little lunch break here and then we'll be back in the studio. I think we will probably work on adding some of those to inventory real quick, the ones that aren't fall and Halloween, just so we can get them on the website in case anybody's been waiting on those that want to order. So let's do a lunch break real quick and then we'll get back at it. Okay, all of those sleeves have been added to inventory, so they are up on the website and Etsy, just in case anybody wanted to purchase those. You know, maybe they're waiting on a size. Next, we are going to cut a little bit of fabric and some foam for those fall and Halloween sleeves that we need to sew. I don't think we're gonna sew them today. It's almost 2 o'clock right now, and I still need to do a lot of editing for last week's vlog, which will already be live when you watch this. Last week was the packing of all of your orders from the end of summer sale, and there is a lot to edit because I'm putting little captions and everything on there. So I think I'm gonna work on that today, being it's Wednesday already, and new vlogs always go live on Friday around noon. So being I have so much to edit, I think I'm gonna spend a little time working on that this afternoon too. But for now, we are gonna cut just a little bit of fabric. We need to cut some orange and some black that I didn't have already. And then we need to cut some foam and then we'll clip them together. And tomorrow we'll have, I think there's probably 9 or 10 sleeves that we'll sew tomorrow. So it'll be a busy day of sewing tomorrow. But for now, let's work on getting everything ready. Alright friends, that's going to be it for recording today. I am off to work on all of your order videos from last week. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow when we're back in the studio sewing up all of those sleeves that we just got ready. Good morning friends, happy Thursday. The sun came out like right as I hit record, so sorry for the weird lighting. Today we are going to be working on those book sleeves that we clipped together yesterday. I think there are 9 of them, and there's also one that I want to redo. It's a dragon reading nook. We released it earlier this year. I was doing a gray inside lining, but I've had a really hard time finding the color that matches the pattern on the outside, so we're going to switch it to a black inside lining. So that's also in the stack to sew today. So I think there's 10 sleeves altogether, so that's going to be today's main project. Here comes that sunshine again. That's okay. We're gonna take the sun. My husband, in case you haven't watched our vlog before, my husband is a full-time farmhand. We recently moved out to the farm here and moved into one of the farmhouses on the property, and they are hoping to start harvest today. So fingers crossed the weather helps kind of dry things out. It's a little bit muggy this morning, so it's a little breezy and the sun's shining. So hopefully by noon they'll be able to start combining wheat today. Whenever they do start, my husband wants me to ride along and bring you guys with. I think he's really excited to show you guys just kind of what goes on for the farming life. And I know a few of you have mentioned too that you grew up on farms or currently live on farms. So it's kind of just a fun fact. You know, that's just the other part of our life that I normally don't record, but I think he's really excited for you guys to come along too. So if they start today, maybe we'll ride along tonight. We'll see how the weather, you know, plays out here. But yeah, today we are just gonna be sewing, trying to get all those sleeves done. I just checked on all of the other items for the Halloween collection. It looks like almost everything should be here tomorrow. So that's the fabric for the book sleeves the new book sleeves that we're waiting on, the regular bookmarks, sticky notes, notepads, acrylic bookmarks, acrylic charms, and stickers. I think everything is supposed to be here tomorrow. Actually, some of it was out for delivery today. Well, it was loaded on the delivery truck, so hopefully it'll be here today. And that would be the bookmarks and the stationery items. So if those come before we stop filming for the day, I'll give you guys a peek at that as well. But for now, we are just going to crank out these book sleeves. That way we can work on taking photos this weekend. With all the new stuff showing up tomorrow, we'll probably be in the studio this weekend working on things, just so it's not quite so much next week, especially with my husband starting. Oh, Luna's jumping down here. Hang on, she wants to say hi. Here she is. Yes, good morning. But anyways, with my husband starting harvest, he won't be home very much. They work long hours most days during harvest, so that makes a little bit more work for me at home here, just with him not being home. So we're gonna try and get ahead on stuff this week, just so next week isn't quite so much, because launch weeks normally are crazy. It's just getting ready, getting all the new things ready, whether it's sewing book sleeves, we have to cut bookmarks around the corners, we have to do inventory, inspect everything, not to mention all the photos. We gotta take photos, make listings on Etsy and the website, make an email newsletter. So there's a lot that goes into a launch. So if you haven't watched one of our launch week videos, hang on, it's gonna be a busy next few days here. But for now, we're just gonna start on those book sleeves and get those done, and then we can cross those off the to-do list. She's pretty floppy this morning. Look what just arrived. So these are going to be the new set of bookmarks. So we'll have to cut these down and then round all the corners on them. And then this is the new stationery set for this year. It'll match the new bookshelf book sleeve. That fabric should be here tomorrow. So we got the notepad and the matching sticky notes. And then these were ones that I showed the other day. And then here are two of the book sleeves that I've finished so far today. But I wanted to show you that this cute little ghosty matches the stationery set here. So that is the stationery that we're waiting on. The bookmarks, we might start on those tomorrow. If not, we'll definitely work on them this weekend. That way we can start taking pictures of those. All right, friends, just finished sewing all of the book sleeves, so I want to give you a little peek at the returning designs. So these are all designs that we've had before. I just haven't shared them with you yet. You may have seen some of these on the page if you've been to our website or Etsy, but we've got our cottagecore bookshelf and our autumn bookshelf. And then we've got a Halloween bookshelf, and each of these, they're similar in color, but a little bit different. Both of these have an orange inside lining, where this one here has a purple, just to bring out some of the fun colors in there. And then we've got our pumpkins and coffee, and that one has an orange lining. And then we've got our little ghosty reading. That one's got blush. And then these are some reading nook designs. There's actually one further down too. So this one's like our cutesy Halloween, and it has a hot pink. This one's kind of like an autumn cozy reads, and that one has kind of a bronze coppery color. Then our fall in love with reading. That one has a matching green. And then here's more of a darker Halloween kind of theme. That one's got black. And then we have All I Need Is Hot Tea and Cozy Reads, and that one has black to match the fabric. So that is what I was working on today. So it's about 4:30 now, so we're gonna call it for today. Luna's getting a little antsy. She wants to go run around outside. This evening, I'm going to work on editing last week's studio vlog with all of the order packing again. I'm gonna try and get it done tonight. If not, I'll be finishing that up tomorrow morning. So we'll be back in the studio sometime tomorrow. We have a couple book sleeves that we need to sew for orders, so we will just see you whenever we see you again tomorrow. Hello friends, happy Friday. Sorry if I sound a little stuffy. My allergies are in full force, which happens every year as soon as they start harvest, which they did start harvesting yesterday. I did not get to go right along on the combine last night. They had a breakdown right about the time I was going to head out there, so didn't get to do that last night. They're going to be combining this afternoon here once everything dries up a little bit. If it's humid out, they can't combine. It's just a little bit too moist, so they're hoping to start here probably in the next few minutes. But anyways, it's about 1:30 in the afternoon. This morning I finished editing last week's video, which was all the orders from the sale. So So all that is edited and up on the YouTube site now. And then I just took a little lunch break here, went out back with Luna, let her run around for a bit. And then stickers just came in for, well, just the haunted library box stickers came in, so I won't show you those just in case anybody doesn't want to see spoilers. But I was missing some stickers. I was really bummed. We have some skeleton cats that glow in the dark, and they were not in the package, so I can't show you those. So I just emailed the company saying, hey, missing my stickers, so we'll see what they say here. But this afternoon we have one sleeve to sew for an order, it looks like. It looks like we also had an order come in for a charm, so we're gonna get those packed up. Sorry if you can hear Luna sneezing in the background here. Apparently her allergies are bugging her too. But we are gonna make up some book sleeves for Turning Pages book box. They are actually not too far away from us here. They are doing a reading retreat, which I mentioned a couple weeks ago in one of the vlogs. And we are giving away a couple prize packages at the reading retreat. So we're gonna sew up a couple of book sleeves for that. And there's also gonna be some bookmarks and some stickers that go with those. So we're gonna get all that put together. Sorry if the lighting's really weird. It's kind of changing colors here with the sunshine, the clouds coming through. Anyways, we're going to do a little bit of sewing today, packing some orders, and then we'll see how much time we have left. We might work on cutting some of the bookmarks that just came in, so we'll just see how much time we have. Okay, sleeves are done, so we're going to pack up orders quick. My husband and I are actually going to run to town this evening, so we're going to drop everything off at the post office too, which works out great, so we can get everything sent off to you guys. Alright friends, that's it for today. We'll probably be back in the studio tomorrow and maybe even Sunday, just because we have a lot to do to get ready for next week's launch. So we'll see you when we're back then. Hello friends, happy Saturday. I've got some fun things to show you. Acrylic bookmarks and charms came in last night, as well as a new fabric. So I got the fabric washed and all dried, so it's ready to go. We are gonna work on cutting that probably well, we might work on that tomorrow. We'll see. If not, we're gonna do it Monday. We're definitely gonna be sewing all the new sleeves on Monday, but we might cut fabric tomorrow. We'll see. So I have that to show you, and what else do I have? Oh, and I found some fun props while I was in town today shopping, so I've got some new photo props to use from the Halloween stuff too. So let me show you everything that we have. All right, so we'll start with the Kindle charms first. I am missing one, it hasn't arrived yet, but this one here is new for the year. A cute little Skelly kitty. And then we've got the reader, if it'll focus here, the late night reader tarot card, our black cat, and then our ghosty. And then we've got 3 returning bookmarks. So we've got the Autumn Bookshelf, the Cottagecore Bookshelf, and Dark Academia. Those we've had before. This one is brand new. This is the Haunted Library bookshelf, and that'll match last year's design. And then we've got a cute Skelly Kitties too. This one doesn't have a tassel yet because I'm waiting on purple. I tried black with it, but it would just seem too dark. I thought it needed a pop of color, so we're gonna do purple with that. But check out this cute little cat. I found him at Home Goods today. Doesn't he match perfectly, like for the new stuff? So I thought we needed him for a photo prop. And then I picked up just a couple candles that I'm going to use in the background too. And then this really cool plastic spiderweb plate. I thought that might be kind of neat to like lay a book sleeve and kind of stage a little bit too. And then these I found at Five Below. I thought they would be really cool for background props, just with the colors, because everything that is new this year has the purple, pink, and green. So this one's kind of like a glittery pink, and then this one has stars, but if you flip it, it's plain. So that'll be kind of cool to use both sides. And then we've got the big purple one here too. And then let me show you the new fabric also. Luna's down here napping in the sunshine too. But here are all the new fabrics. So this is the new bookshelf this year. If you go shopping at like Michael's and stuff, everything is kind of this color palette this year. So I thought it'd be really fun to kind of play on that. Skeletons are really big this year too. So we've got all kinds of fun little critters. We got a little meanie up here that are the skeletons. So we've got that one. And then we've got ghosts reading. There's going to be a lot of light colored fabric designs, and that's because I want to do a pop of color for the inside lighting. So I think this one I might do orange. This one I haven't decided yet. It has a bunch of different colors in it. We'll see on that one. Got that. And then we've got this one for like the pumpkin spice girlies. So that one will probably have orange inside. And then you guys are asking for dogs. Since we did a lot of kitties for like the bookmarks and stuff, I wanted to do something for all you dog lovers. Of course, we had to have our little meanies. And then the goose trend is really popular, so we're going to do that as well. I think this one might do like a purple, just being it's got the purple stripes in there and the geese in the purple. This one doesn't have to be strictly fall. I just thought it would be really cute with back to school in case anybody wanted it for a teacher gift, or with the holidays coming up, it'd be really cute for a teacher gift too. And then last but not least, we've got football. I just love the colors on that one. So those are all the new fabrics. Let's see them one more time here. So that is all the new stuff. So like I said, fabric, will probably start cutting that tomorrow. I think this evening I'm going to work on some mock-ups for a few different things. Luna's just wanting some attention today. She's really exhausted. We had a game night with Dan's sisters and then their significant others last night. So she is kind of pooped after playing with them and the dogs that were over there. So we're going to give her some love and snuggles tonight. But anyways, we're probably going to cut the fabric for the book sleeves tomorrow. That way we can do some sewing on Monday. And right now, not quite sure. Maybe we'll cut a few bookmarks. That way we can take some pictures. I have to set up the new lighting kit too. So we might do that here and get that set up. See if that's going to work or if I need to figure out a backup plan being it's launch week. So let's set up the lighting kit first and then we'll go from there. Before I clean off the table here and set up the lighting kit, I just wanted to mention that if you guys are looking for photo props, whether you're another small business owner or you're just into Bookstagram, Booktube, you know, you need some fun props. Luna over there. You don't have to spend a whole bunch of money on props. Like these are $5 each at Five Below. Like you can't go wrong with that. A lot of the flowers that you see in my backgrounds, which I don't have any right here, those are all from the dollar store. This was $6. I think these were each $5. This was $9. But you don't have to spend a whole lot on different props. Like go check out Home Goods, TJ Maxx, the dollar store, Five Below, and you can find some really cute things. All right, so here are the lights. They're a little heavier than I thought they were going to be. Didn't think for how small they are that they would be as heavy as they are. I have to look up the description when I ordered them. I think they are rechargeable, so I wouldn't have to have them plugged in all the time. If I do, I'm gonna have to get some extension cords because as you can see, the cords are not very long. But yeah, I think it's gonna be something new, something to try out. There are some harsh shadows here, which I don't normally like when you take photos. So I think it's gonna take a little bit of playing around, but overall, I think they're gonna be really nice. I like that they're not big and bulky like the last ones. That was one thing I really didn't like about the old set. They weren't LEDs. So with them not being LEDs, they're just so big and bulky. So that's why I wanted to go with these this time, just try something different. So I don't know, I'll let you guys know what I think of them. So far, I think they're gonna be nice, but I'll let you know for sure in case you're interested in getting a set. So I just looked it up. The lighting kit, each of the lights does have a built-in battery, so that'll be really nice not to have them attached to cords all the time and have to have the extension cord out when I'm doing photos and tripping over that like I used to. So we might try that a little bit later today. Right now, I think we are gonna put stickers on the back of the sticky notes and notepads that just arrived, the pink ones. And then I think we might cut just a couple bookmarks, just enough where if I do decide to do photos later, then we have some to work with. So I think we'll do those two projects real quick and then we'll see how much time we have left from there. Alright friends, that's gonna be it for today. I'm off to make some supper and give Luna some attention here. We're gonna let that lighting kit charge a little bit, that way we don't have to keep it plugged in. I don't know that we'll be back in the studio tonight. I do need to work on some graphics and some mock-ups this evening. I don't know if I mentioned earlier in the vlog or not, but my mom sublimates the tumblers for us, and she's also testing out a couple new items. I can't remember if I mentioned them to you guys or not, but we're gonna have new car coasters as well as new car air fresheners. She sent me pictures of the ones she tested from the other evening and they turned out super, super cute. But only downside is she lives 3 hours away, so I won't have the physical items until the weekend when the launch goes live. We are actually heading down that way for my cousin's wedding the Saturday after the launch. So I have to make up some mock-ups just until I get the items here. That way I don't have to have her ship them to me. We'll save on postage. But I'm gonna make up just a few mock-ups so you guys can see the different designs. And then once I physically have the items, then we'll take photos of all those. So need to work on all that this evening, as well as give Luna some attention. She's been pretty good today. She hasn't gotten much attention because I was out running errands this morning and my husband was running errands and he had to fix the lawnmower. And anyway, she needs some love too. So I don't know if we'll be back in the studio this evening taking photos. That might be a tomorrow project as well. So we will just see you whenever we see you again. Hello friends, happy Sunday. Today we're just working for a little bit in the studio. I just finished taking a few photos to put on social media since the lighting is perfect for in front of the bookshelf. So I just took just a few today. Next up, I'm going to be cutting a little bit of fabric for those book sleeves that we need to get done with the new prints that just arrived. So we're gonna cut fabric for those today and probably won't do a whole lot else. Just being it's Sunday, I wanna take a little time to relax and hang out with Luna and my husband too. So we're just gonna cut fabric here for a little bit. I'm gonna put a movie on in the background and we're just gonna have a relaxing afternoon. Alright friends, that's all we're going to work on today. It's also going to be the end of this week's studio vlog. Next week's going to be a very busy week. We are going to continue getting ready for the launch, which goes live on Friday, the day that this studio vlog goes live. The new collection will be available for pre-orders starting at noon Central Standard Time, Friday, August 22nd, the day that this goes live. Pre-orders are going to be open for 1 week only, just so that I have time to get everything made and sent out to you guys, so you have lots of time to enjoy it in October and even November for all those fall items. If you want to see more of the journey of getting ready for the new launch, I hope you stick around and subscribe to the channel. We've got all kinds of things to work on next week. We need to sew up those book sleeves. We need to make acrylic and regular bookmarks. We have all kinds of photos that we need to take, make posts for social media, email, newsletter, all kinds of things. So if you want to see more, I hope you stick around and subscribe to the channel. And if you like the content this week, I hope you give this video a thumbs up. It just helps to share this video and our page with other people who might enjoy it too. But that's going to be it for this week. I hope you guys stick around and we'll see you later. Bye for now.